See the shore all planted to stop erosion. See it? All the way up. Contain the river. Snow melt. That's heading up into the Geikie estate. It's really remote area. Beautiful area. Not as many deer in this estate anymore because they've gone back to plantation and back to trying to get it back to nature. All of these old estate houses are all empty now. A lot of the estates have got rid of the generations of gamekeepers and they're using the houses now for highly profitable Airbnbs and stuff like that. Yep. It's changed days, totally changed days. This is an old estate lodge here. It's empty, it's not in use. And there's some incredible old antiques inside that I've been lucky enough to be inside it today and been allowed to have a gander around all these old antiques. Some of the stuff's well over 100 years old, old paintings and stuff. It's a fairly modern lodge, it's maybe 20 or 30 years old, it's not particularly nice looking. I think the estate are going to upgrade it and clad it and stuff. Doing a little bit of work in it for them. But yeah, this is an incredible place. It's used to be polluted with deer. I know the stalkers that used to be here. All gone. All gone. Fenced in. And the grants for the plantation, for everything, to get it back to natural. You know, it's not been natural for hundreds and hundreds of years, but they want to take it back to what it was. You would tell if there was deer in this valley because this grass would be like a bowling green. Because they would blitz it. There's a few sheep, that's about it. All the natural predators are back. Stoats, weasels, fox, badger, otter, they're all back in number. There's a lot of raptors, harriers, eagles, peregrine falcons. I seen a goshawk 2 days ago. There's merlin, there's hobby. You don't see kestrels up here at all. You see them down in the Glasgow and Edinburgh and the motorways in Perth, but you don't see kestrels up here, strangely enough. But this is an old estate and it's just, this was a shooting lodge, pretty ugly. You know, it's been done cheap back in the day. Now they're ever so slightly upgrading it. I've been lucky enough that I've been allowed in and because I'm doing a little bit of work for them. And there's the old furniture I was talking about. Ancient, old wicker creels. Lots of books, lots of paintings. I'm a bookworm, so I've had a good look about them. Some classics among them. But aye, it's a really... The estates in Scotland are changing dramatically. They're all going towards conservation now. And moving away from anything remotely like what you would have thought an estate once did. Grouse, supland, moor management, stuff like that, it's all changing. It's all going back to fencing it in, pushing the deer off the land or culling the deer, planting the ground and letting it go back to nature. And it's all about subsidisation now. It's all about rental, it's all about Airbnb. There is no real land management anymore. Skeleton crews of estate workers, basic maintenance, removal of old fencing and installation of new fencing. It's just strange, it's really weird. And it's all absentee owners. All the owners are now billionaires from different countries. Very few estates in Scotland are owned by the historic names and families that had them for generations. They've sold them all off because they were poor at, not very good at maintaining them. They're now owned by hedge funds and all the crazy stuff. It's sad, but it's just the way it goes. So this is a remote area. The drive in here's 25 minutes up a dirt track, and it goes for another load of miles away up there, and that gets really, really remote up there and really, really off grid. There is no signal here, hence it's not alive. No signal at all. But yeah, that river gets a run of salmon. Not big salmon, but it does get a run. It does get some fish up it. And not just now, another few months before they come up. Some of the pools have got trout in them, but not in any kind of big numbers or size. It's quite a shallow river, it's more of a spate. But there's a lock up there full of trout, and I've got permission to use the boat and go out with a fly rod. So that's what I'll do. Alright, someplace. There's an odd eagle flies over, but I haven't seen much today. At times in these places you'd think there's absolutely no wildlife, and then it just comes to life. Early in the morning's the time to be here. That's where you see everything. That's where you see all the wildlife. But I'm here to do a little bit of work just now. Help fund the journey. So there you go, guys. A beautiful part of Scotland. The nearest civilisation's probably Kinnussy or Aviemore. There's a cuckoo up on the hillside. Yeah, lovely place. And apparently now the best way to sustain these places is to completely neglect them. No grazing animals, nothing at all. No leasing it out to landowners or horses or sheep, nothing like that. Just to let them naturalise and get Scotland back to where it was 600 years ago, before they deforested all the hills for the war efforts, for ammunition boxes, for, you know, stuff like that, for sleepers, for railways. Because all those hills that you see in the distance at one point would have been covered in forestry. Natural Scots pine and Douglas fir, you know, the old Caledonian pine forests, all gone. Now they want to replant all of that and put it back to where it was. So we're going full circle. We've obliterated Scotland and made it a barren landscape. Now we want to put it back to forestry, where 10,000 years ago there was elk and bears and wolves running around, and lynx, European lynx. Now they want to take it back to that. So, interesting times, but it makes redundant your estate worker, your deer stalker, your grouse moor manager, you know, your countryman, your pest controller. It makes these guys redundant. That's just time. That's just what time does, and it's what money does, and outside investment, and people that think differently. These estates were flogged to death the same old way for centuries, and now there's a new breed of estate manager, and it's all about subsidisation, it's about grants, it's about exploiting loopholes. It was about the European money, which is now gone, and everything comes in cycles. Everything in cycles. Crazy, really, really is. It's an amazing place. I'll get up in the ridge lines, I'll get up there in the next few days and give you it from a different aspect. But what a place. Anyway, there you go, have a good day.